Showtime.
Yeah, I think so. And then he had like two monster seasons because of Jonathan Taylor, and then he just kind of just maintained. I wouldn't say he fell off. He just I don't know. He just kind of maintained what he was doing, but just the the reputation from those couple seasons kind of carried him. You know what I mean?
Alone. Because I remember when he was coming out, I think that's the same class as Saquon Barkley. They were saying the best two players in the draft were Saquon Barkley and him, regardless of position. So it's like, you talking about that a guard like that's insane.
Yeah, for real. Not too many of those.
Make sure to clock in. Don't forget to like the thumbs, man. Like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Here we go.
Great Pharaoh, the gift of Troy is a fabulous fabric from the land of the five rivers.
Years ago, when we came to Los Angeles, I really believed that the greatness of the Raiders would be in its future.
One of them hits now. Heard back from Earth, they just shot a few of my shits down. It's safe to say I'm totally pissed. Wow, my cloaking devices just malfunction. Guess it's time for a sit down. This is the problem I got with humans, mostly the common man. Constantly fucking with energy they don't understand. Always thinking they got the upper hand. The G-forces for my maneuvers can snap your spine like a rubber band. I shouldn't waste my time, they ain't half as nice. Put a Red Bull in your coffin so your ghost can have wings in the afterlife. Let's rock and roll like a belly dancer's rhinestone. It was my idea to shake the pineal gland like a pine cone. My thoughts create hurricanes, tornadoes, and cyclones. A punch for me is like an avalanche of granite and limestone. You live here, now this is my home. I neuralize both your as you wake up staring at the screen of your eyes. Now we connected from the microchip I placed next to your thigh bone. It's hard to understand cause you're mind blown, but I gotta cut communication. Your government just scrambled they spy drones.
That voice speaking Sumerian, the oldest language in human history. I can't explain it.
We back. We are back for another edition of Around the Shield. You already know, y'all already see it on the screen. And we got the Severe Raider. We got Big Mike Raider in the building, man. Obviously myself, PharoahNFL. Around the Shield, man, is in the building, man. We got a lot to talk about. Hey, it's the last game of the season, man. Real tough season. But hey, we're here. We're here to talk about it. We're going to get into a lot of different things, man. Make sure, if you just joining us, man, make sure to clock in. Like the thumbs, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. You'll be seeing this on all of our platforms. So if you haven't subscribed, make sure to do so, and also hit the like button. Man, we got some stuff to talk about, man, because obviously, Mike, we haven't had a chance to talk. Man, Raiders won last week, and they went ahead and just messed around and got a win against the Saints, and we dropped all the way down to the 8th pick. Severe and I had the show the other day. We talked about it a little bit, man. What are your thoughts, man? Let's just get the show started. Let's not waste any time. And we appreciate everybody pulling up right now, but we're not going to waste any time, man. But, Mike, let's get into that, man. Like, the Raiders end up winning against the Saints. They drop all the way down to 8th. How you feeling, man, after a win?
Oh, man. At this point, man, this late in the season, they started to figure things out, man. I'm like, this would have been great back in October. Mm-hmm. But nonetheless, you know, I guess it is what it is. They don't care about the draft picks. None of the guys in the building, they're trying to win. You know, the organization wants to win, starting from Mark Davis on down. So who are we as fans to say anything, right? At least that's how I have to see it. It's a little disappointing. But, you know, after – I'm not going to lie to you. After seeing what we saw from Shedeur Sanders – and I wouldn't even say Cam Ward. We got a half from Cam Ward, so you can't really say much about that. But, you know, what we saw from Shedeur Sanders wasn't pretty. And to me, I think maybe the Raiders look at it as like maybe we can still get our guy at number 8, or if we, you know, if we're in that area. So, you know, I'm just sitting back. I'm gonna be a fan. I'm not gonna play GM anymore. If we win, great. You know, I'm a Raider fan. Let's start off. Let's finish the season on a high note. You know, 3-game winning streak to finish the season off, considering how bad, you know, early season and the majority of the season has been injuries and things like that. But I'm going to be a fan this week. I want them to win. I want the Raiders to whoop on the Chargers. I hate the Chargers more than probably any other team. The Chiefs are on my shit list for one right now, just because they're winning and the way they're winning. But I always have a deep hate for the Chargers, specifically because they're in LA and they don't belong in LA. So I don't know if you guys noticed. Every time we play the Chargers, I got my LA hat on. You know, I'll pick my Los Angeles Raiders hat on. You know, I'll pick that because they picked the wrong team to be a representative of LA. They really did. Yeah. And, you know, I want to take it out on them. I want to take it out on the NFL. I want to take it out on the Chargers. So I want to win this game, man, at the end of the day.
Well, the game's going to be in Vegas. So hopefully they'll have to wait till next season for them to come back in LA. And we were in LA this early in the season. I think it was first game of the season. Yeah. And the Raiders just went ahead and and I think, come to think about it, they haven't won a game in LA outside of that COVID year. Outside of that COVID year with no fans.
We haven't won in front of fans in LA.
Yeah, which is tough, man, because LA, we like to joke around and be like, hey, that's a extra home game for the Raiders because, you know, Raider Nation likes to come out and represent. You said it again?
So that ain't no joke. That's the real.
Nah, it's serious. It's serious. Yeah. But I will say this too, man. I know you said we should finish on a high note, 3-game win streak. Yeah. But then if AP was coming back, then I could understand it. Now I could, you know what? He's building culture there. you want him to, you want him to finish the season on a high note, make the necessary moves to improve from this year and come back strong next season. But then if you fire AP, then it's just like, man, we're starting over. And on top of that, we're probably going to be picking outside of top 10. Because we went from number 1 after winning. We went from number 1 and then we dropped all the way down to 6th, I believe. We dropped all the way down to 6th after beating the Jaguars. And then we end up beating the Saints. We go down to 8th, the 8th pick. And if we win this game, the way it's set up, and I'm gonna go ahead and just show this on the screen. This is like the weekly ritual. What we do here, man, we like to show the current draft position. So here, I'll go ahead and share the screen. You can take a look. Let's see here.
Pretty much set that we're not getting number 1.
We're picking 8th, and if you look at it, we're tied with Chicago. New Orleans is 5-11, but if we go ahead and lose, and we tie with New Orleans, I think the way it works is strength of schedule. New Orleans could jump us. And
it's true. It's true. We could be.
I think the lowest 10. I think is 10th. The 10th. Yeah, 10th.
Yeah,
so I guess okay.
I think 10th is the lowest. 10th is the lowest. So I mean,
I don't know, man. It's going to be tough because it's not going to be the same draft like last year. We're not going to have. I don't want to say. I don't want to be negative, but like we're lucky to have Brock Bowers. We're so lucky because
fortunate.
Very fortunate because all those quarterbacks got taken up within the first 12 picks.
Exactly.
But in this draft, there's probably going to be 2 quarterbacks taken within the first 10 picks, first 12 picks. And if that's the case, that means a lot of the players that we would probably want are going to be taken unless someone reaches.
Exactly.
Which most likely, I don't know if anyone's going to reach too much. I mean, how do you feel about that, Severe? Like as far as where the Raiders could be at, do you want the Raiders to finish on a high note?
Yeah, man. I agree with Mike. I mean, I don't have as much hate for the Chargers as he does, just because it just simply is an irrelevant franchise to me. Like, so, I mean, I was like, I'm more dismissive of them, than anything. But I do want to see. I do want to see the Raiders win. The only reason I wanted them to lose is because I wanted the highest draft pick as possible. Now that it looks like we're basically out of the running for really like true blue chip prospects at this point. Like I don't think Shador or Cam are really blue chip prospects. I think I think Will Johnson, Mason Graham, whatever tackle you like, whether that's Banks or Will Campbell, Teteroa, maybe Abdul Carter. How you feeling? I think those are like the blue chip guys. I don't think we're going to be able to get one at 8. I think all those guys are going to likely be gone. So we're gonna be selling at whether we're at 10 or 8. I think we're gonna be time to let's go special, best player available. Whether at
that's
10
what I'm
or
saying.
8.
Like
I know a lot of people are saying Ashton Genty.
Right.
I hope it's not Ashton Genty. But at this point, man, finish the season strong. Finish off with a win. Split with Harbaugh. Get one win over the Chargers, at least, because we haven't beaten anybody in the division at all this year. So at least get one division win, and go into the offseason, lick our wounds, recoup, and try to do better next year.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying, bro. Like, if we're not gonna get a quarterback, let's get a blue chip player. And we were lucky enough to get Brock Bowers last year, and he's a blue chip player without a doubt. But it's just, man, now that if we're gonna win next weekend, it's just the likelihood that we're gonna get the blue chip players that you kind of listed, the Abdul Carters and that you got the D tackle from Michigan, and you know what I mean. You got a couple of players here and there, but then they're after what? So look, you know what? If you think about it, let's actually look at the scenarios here. I want to look at real quick. Let's look at some scenarios. I don't know if we could do this real quick here. We got all right. So Raiders, if they lose, right, 4-13, Jets go out and win with I think Severe you was talking about earlier that Aaron Rodgers is not going to be starting this game. It's going to be Travis.
That's what somebody said. I don't have that on any authority, so don't quote me there. Somebody told me that, so that's like third hand information.
It's believable. It makes sense though.
Take that for what you will. It makes sense. Season is over. Why not take a look at your rookie you drafted? What was it, sixth round guy?
Yeah. Right. So the highest I think we can get is 5.
Realistically, yeah.
Yeah, 5. Because
and you know what, man? You know what?
Yeah.
No,
if it
get
does
higher,
stay that way,
we need the teams in front of us. Yeah, if we lose and the teams in front of us win, then it looks at strength of schedule.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Higher than that.
No. Oh yeah. I hear what you're saying. Let's see. Oh, okay.
So all those teams. Well, I don't know if anybody's playing each other, but all those teams will need to win, and we would need to lose, and then you have madness. You have straight madness. Yeah. You got a whole bunch of 4-13 teams.
4 is the highest.
I think 4. So yeah,
4 is
we
the
can
highest.
get up to 4.
So Giants
somebody
mess
told
around
me,
and win.
Somebody told me. I think in our last show on the 50-50 show, somebody said the way it will end up working out if the teams in front of us win, the strength of schedule changes, and we can still get up to number 2. I forgot who said it. But somebody
Best case
said
scenario.
it.
Hey man,
you know what? To me,
hey, music to my ears.
Yeah. But you know what? At the same time, bro, it's like the teams that are in front of us, we could still get a quarterback if we needed to.
Yeah.
I don't like that scenario. I don't like that scenario. I know.
Yeah, I don't like the scenario either because we're dependent on teams to not make the certain moves, and we're pretty much at the same old story we've been for the last few years. Like, oh, hopefully they don't pick this guy, and hopefully they go for this dude.
So we'll look at it like this. I'm giving y'all some previews on some of this stuff, but the Bills are sitting their starters versus the Patriots. So
yeah, that's a fact.
Could that? I think the Browns play the Ravens, right? Are the Ravens going to play their starters? Or, I'm not sure. The Texans Texans play the Titans. The Texans need a win. They need a win bad. So, they can't go into the playoffs limping. It's highly unlikely the teams in front of us all win.
That's the thing.
Maybe the Patriots.
That's the Raiders dropped the ball, man. They dropped the ball, man. Like they went ahead and tried to.
They did.
Win, and it's not. And I understand. Well, I said this the other day. Like I understand because the other side to it is people are gonna be like, man, what do you mean? Like they're not gonna coaches and players aren't gonna go out there and lose a game. Like that's not how they're built, and that's not what they're supposed to do. That's not what they're paid to do, and yada da da da. And look, at the end of the day, like we're gonna react to it. The Raiders always fall short when it comes to these types of situations, and that's how it's been. Now, the other side to it is, hey, if that front office is good enough. If that team is good enough, stuff like this won't matter because they'll be able to overcome it, get a good player at whatever pick that they pick at. Because the issue in recent years is the fact that they can't even if they had whatever multiple draft picks picked in the top 5, picked in the top 10, we were picking the wrong guy. We were reaching for this guy. So right at this point, if we get a good player in the top 10 or wherever we pick, I think it's going to be a plus no matter what. So there's that perspective too as well. But I just think, man, if we can get into that top 5, man, we can get a really good player, man. I'm talking about D-line. I know Mike, you mentioned Abdul Carter. That was a guy that you're like, hey, if the Raiders have a chance to get him. Last show you talked about that. I know I mentioned the D tackle from Michigan. Obviously, severe. You talked about the corner spot where we can upgrade that if we're able to get in the top 5 or even top 6 at least. But like you said, man, it's gonna be tough, man. That's like how many teams that we're expecting to lose? Like Jets gotta win. Carolina has to win. Jacksonville has to win. The Giants have to win. And you said technically there's a possibility math-wise, the strength of schedule can change so we can get higher than number 4, but we'll see how that shakes out if that were to happen. But man, that'd be crazy though. That'd be crazy. I think because I know everybody's been talking about like, hey, we want to finish on a high note, but that would be crazy if the Raiders somehow, some way got to number 2. And literally, the whole conversation in the offseason would change. It'd be like, hey, we're getting a quarterback. No matter what, we're going to be getting a quarterback, either Cam Ward, Shedeur Sanders, and we won't be going into the offseason wondering like, oh, Raiders got to trade and who's going to be the bridge quarterback and yada 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 and all that good stuff. But we're gonna get into all that in a little bit later. But yeah, man, they got a game against the Chargers. I'm gonna go ahead and take a look at the last Around the Shield injury report.
Man,
so let me go ahead and
crazy, man.
Let's take a look at this. Let's take a look at what it's looking like for the Chargers, especially because they're pretty much penciled in to make the playoffs. I'm not sure. Maybe there might be a seeding situation for them, for them to maybe play some starters. But Severe, you said earlier that, Jim Harbaugh is talking about 11 wins sound better than 10.
Yeah.
Here.
Jim Harbaugh's old school. I think he's one of those guys. Oh, we don't rest our starters type deal. So I don't know. So I don't know. And
Amir Abdullah.
You kind of don't want to go into a playoffs with a loss either, even if it is reserved.
Yeah. Amir Abdullah, the hero of last game. You know what I mean? Probably the player of the game last game. He played pretty well. Did not practice Wednesday, Thursday. We'll see what happens on Friday. But is this the game that Dylan Lobby gets a start?
Man, they better not be trying to do this nonsense now, bro. When it's the end of the year, bro. Oh, we're not gonna bro. Don't even get me started, man. You're not getting me started, bro. Eesh.
Bro, they put out Collier over Lobby, bro. Like Lobby ain't getting no burn, bro. Like,
bro, that's sad. That's sad.
Yeah, it's a shame. I wonder why though. It's kind of. I don't know. It's one of those things where it makes you think a little bit. What's going on with Lobby? What's going on?
Yeah.
What's up with his future at this point as a Raider? Like you have everybody else out there except for Lobby at this point. Like you had a dude that they picked up off the street not too long ago get some burn over Lobby. It's not good, man. It's not good.
You can't get playing time on this team with this running back room. You ain't never gonna get PT.
It's true.
I mean, I don't want to say never. You know what I mean? Like he's a young player. He might catch on somewhere else, but it just seemed like with the Raiders, I don't know if it's the coaching staff, he's in the doghouse, or they just don't trust him. Yeah. Whatever the case may be. But it's just like, man, like he's a young player, give him an opportunity. But I don't think that's the MO of this coaching staff right now. Man, just to quote Mike real quick, man.
I'm fighting for my life. Y'all killing me with this.
Man, they fighting. This coaching staff is fighting for their life, man. Like for real.
Yeah. Hey, but you know what, man? Like, as far as that goes, Antonio Pierce probably won't be back. Right? That's the word on the street. He might not be back, but the word around the NFL and experts are saying that he got a raw deal. So for him, he's putting up a resume right now. He's building his resume for the next spot he goes to. So for him, it's important. And the players that are in the building alongside with him are playing for him as well. Mm-hmm. So that's why they're winning. Not necessarily to keep AP's job, but for him to get another setup somewhere else. That's what I think. And I think because of that, the Raiders you're gonna keep seeing that A game from the Raiders and his coaching staff. They're really trying to rally for their guy at this point.
Yeah.
So that's what I think was going on with AP. I don't think he'll be back though.
That's a good point. That's a good point too, because also, how does the locker room feel that a younger player gets an opportunity that is not necessarily better than the guy ahead of him or behind him? You know what I mean? Like, and usually that's what happens when a young guy sometimes goes ahead. They're thinking about the future. It's all about development and yada yada yada. I'm sure the locker room that you're talking about is probably playing hard because the guys that are playing well are playing. They're starting.
Yeah.
They're getting playing time.
Yeah.
So I'm sure that's going over well with the locker room. It's better vibes. People want to play harder because they're going to have an opportunity, and the best man will play. And I think that's like a better. That makes a whole lot of sense the way you kind of put that. Now look at the Chargers injury report real quick. Gus Edwards did not practice all week. It's a guy from that running back room. Khalil Mack, I think he's good to go, but I'm not sure how much he's going to play in a game that's really meaningless. Lad McConkey, he missed practice on Wednesday. I'm sure that's a young player that's contributing. He's a big time player for them right now.
He'll be there.
He might play, but he might not. You never know. Just because it's a meaningless game. Like you don't have to play him a lot. Joshua Palmer, that's a guy. It's a depth receiver for them. That's a good receiver. That's like a Justin Herbert guy. You know what I mean? One of his guys that he's played with since he came into the league. He hasn't practiced, but we'll see. I mean, we're only talking about this last game of the season. No one really cares, but. Are they going to play starters? Are the starters going to play? If the starters play, then the Raiders, I don't think, are going to win this game. If the starters don't play, hey, man, you're telling me there's a chance.
Yeah.
Telling me there's a chance.
For real.
Yeah. Shout out to Amir Abdullah, man. He had he had the game of his life, the game of his career. 10 years in the league. He finally broke that 100-yard mark, man. He had like 140 something total yards. Like it was impressive to watch him, man. It was good to see a guy who's probably not going to be this year finally kind of go out with a bang. He might land somewhere else at the end of the day, but it was just good to see a guy who's worked so hard. Yeah, he might be. Who knows, right? But
right,
it's good to see somebody like that, like a 10-year vet, still caring about what's going on with the team late when there's nothing on the line, man. Most of these guys at that point of their careers, like kind of just ready to go home, and he's still fighting. So shout out to Amir Abdullah, the Butcher, right there, man. If you know wrestling, Abdullah the Butcher, man, like he was carving folks up in the ring, and Amir Abdullah was carving folks up on the field against the Saints. So it was good to see, man. I had to give him that special shout out for that one, man.
I think the most memorable thing that Amir Abdullah, when I think of him, I just remember when he did that like karate kick. I think it might have been against the Chargers. Was it against Chargers or was it Titans? It might have been Titans. Never mind.
I don't remember. Are you talking about the one where he accidentally hit somebody and they caught him for a penalty?
I think it was a road game against the Titans. McDaniel's first year as a coach. I think that it was that game where he did some. I just remember that karate kick, man. I was like, damn, man, like this dude dude's a black belt, man. Doing crazy ass kicks, but yeah, man. Last game of the season, man. Like, what do you want to see?
Man, I just want the guys to continue playing hard. Continue to playing hard. It's likely that we've been hearing the rumors and the rumblings that Antonio Pierce is gone. If they go out there and they, put up a great performance, could that sway some people? Maybe. But, I think the decision has largely been made already, and it was made weeks ago whether or not he was staying or not. So if they wanted to give him another shot, I think they were already, barring something catastrophic happening, him losing the locker room or him doing something off the field, I think they were going to keep him. And if they were going to get rid of him, barring him going on some kind of miraculous run during the middle of the year, they were going to get rid of him. So, it's just one of those things. But, I like, AP he is a fan of the Raiders. He is a member of the Raider Nation. And if if this is going to be his last act as the head coach of the Raiders, I like to see him go out, with a victory. That way he can talk his stuff. They can smoke their stuff. Because at that point, it's inconsequential. The season is over.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, Mike, what do you want to see?
Raiders need to put on a show. Point blank, period, man. This is a game where you got to go all out. You got to put out all stops. The season's over after this. And O'Connell need to throw for 350. I want O'Connell to throw for over 300 at least. I need Brock Bowers to get at least 15 targets. I want him to break nearly 200 yards. I want them to feed Brock Bowers like this is going to be the last time he touches a football ever in his life.
Man.
That's what I want to see.
Right.
There's been this campaign amongst the team that is kind of fighting for him to win Offensive Rookie of the Year. Well, if you do feel that way, get him Rookie of the Year then. Get him Rookie of the Year. Give him 20 targets. Get him some records. He's 9 catches away from the tight end record all time for catches.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go ahead and break that. And maybe Mark Davis is Mr. Moneybags for the last couple of weeks and is throwing out little bonuses here and there for exceptional performance. So
maybe
if that's the case, let Mr. Mark Davis, continue throwing out his holiday bonuses, and these guys put up big stats and big numbers, man. That's what I want to see from this team. Look good even if you lose, and push for that win. I'm at the point now, I was pushing so hard for them to, look good, but not necessarily win the game, evaluating young talent. But we're doing that, and we're getting wins, which is a bright spot for our future. So if that's the case, let's keep it rolling, man. Keep looking good. Let's get the win. Let's finish off on a 3-game winning streak. If this is, like you said, like Severe said, if this is AP's last go-round as head coach, go out with a bang. That's what I want to see. I want the Raiders to put on a show in Vegas for those faithful Raider Nation who've stuck with this team through thick or thin all season, who look like complete ass all season. Go ahead and do it for them, man, at the very least. Do it for them.
I hear you, man. I hear you, but I'm kind of like, I want to see a good game, but I'm just gonna continue to say this same thing that I've been saying the last few weeks is if you're gonna lose, man, lose right, man. I think solidify that draft spot. Let's get a high draft pick, so then we don't have to be in a position where we got to trade up and give valuable draft picks, which we need because we have holes on the roster and we need to continue to build this team, which hopefully they don't trade up. And that's a whole different conversation. And we'll probably get into it on the next segment. But I agree. I want to see the Raiders play well. But for me, play well enough where, we see some development from certain players. But at the end of the day, we solidify a high draft pick so then we can get a great player to play here next season. So who that might be, we'll figure that out as time goes on. But for me, it's just about I've been looking ahead. I'll be honest with you. I've been looking ahead since since like the beginning of the season, pretty much. I mean, like once I figured out, like, you know what, this team is not going to the playoffs. We don't have a quarterback. Things are not changing. There's too many issues that we're having with this team for me to even project that they're going to win this season. So I've been looking ahead, and I'm like, you know what, this is going to be the year where the Raiders get their quarterback. But now I'm not too sure, and we'll get into that in just a second. But if you haven't already, make sure to clock in, like the thumbs, hit that like button, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell. We are showing the show Around the Shield on all of our platforms. So if you haven't subscribed to any of our channels, go ahead and do so, man. It's so easy. And to hit that like button and hit the notification bell so you'll be notified when we drop new content. But I guess, hey, that's probably a good segue to get into Around the Nation. And Around the Nation is where we talk about what's being talked about, around the nation, around Raider Nation, and what's going on, what's the main conversation. And I think the main conversation that's happening is, what's the plan for quarterback? Raiders went ahead and they won. They went ahead and beat the Saints. What's the plan now? Like, how are we going to get the quarterback? This quarterback draft is 2 quarterbacks deep. Everybody is the drop off is from Shador or Cam Ward, however way you want to rank them, is pretty big.
Yeah.
Now that being the case, I'm sure the Raiders, they're going to do due diligence. They're going to be looking at, they're going to have their board, and they're going to rank who's good and who's not and who they have it. I think for the most part, they're going to figure out real quick that, you know what, we can't just go into this draft assuming that a guy's going to drop all the way down to number 8, because that's what they did last year, assuming that Michael Penix was going to be there.
Yeah.
And, thankfully, we got a great player in Brock Bowers, but the quarterback position is so important that, they can't go ahead and do that again. They have to go into the offseason with how are we going to get our quarterback in the future. So I'm going to ask you guys this question. Are we going to trade for a quarterback? Are we going to sign our quarterback? Are we going to draft our quarterback? Or is it all of the above?
Man, go ahead, Severe. You got this one first, man.
Being where we are in terms of the draft, I do think we draft a quarterback for sure. I think we draft one fairly highly, but I seriously doubt we draft one in the first round. The speculation last year was that we offered three ones and 2 2s to the Commanders for Jaden Daniels, and they said no. And now I think the world sees why they said no. We also offered a package to move up. I think we offered a package with Atlanta. I think that's before we knew Atlanta was going to take Michael Penix, to move up to get Michael Penix. Atlanta said no. But that was the better quarterback class. I know that was my QB1 and my QB2. I don't think any of the QBs in this class are better than those guys. And, with that being said, I don't think Tom Telesco moves up in the first round to select either one of those guys. If we get lucky, Shador's bowl game, if that leaves a nasty taste in people's mouths, pause if necessary, then maybe he slides a little bit and we have a chance at him. And if Deion gets his helicopter dad on and scares teams away, maybe that plays a part as well. But barring that, taking a guy in the second or the third round, I think that seems to be the most logical route. I also do think we need to go after another guy in free agency. I want Aiden O'Connell to stick around. I like what I've seen with him, and I wouldn't mind Carter Bradley sticking around as another practice squad guy. I want us to get another guy in free agency. I have to look at who are the free agents out there. Are there really guys that are so much better than Gardner Minshew that we'd be willing to eat the money, whatever the money it costs to get rid of Gardner, and then sign them? So that's like extra money. That's the dead cap money you would take for Gardner, plus whatever the money is for the new quarterback you sign. So, that takes a $25 million, $30 million quarterback from that to, potentially 45 or 35, 40 million. So are you willing to spend that money on a guy that could possibly end up being a backup if you draft a guy? I don't know if they want to do that, but I do think for sure we should draft at least one. But damn, I wouldn't be mad if we drafted 2. Shoot. The Patriots did it. Well, one.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. You know what, man? Like, it's tough, man. Being in this situation is tough because, we see another solid game from Aiden O'Connell. Say he throws for about 300, like I said. Say he throws for 304. The whole offseason, we're going to the offseason saying maybe Aiden O'Connell is our guy. That's what it's going to be, the word, right? I'm not saying that I believe that. I don't believe it. But there's going to be word out there. And really, it really comes down to what the front office thinks. You know, do they see Aiden O'Connell as maybe a guy who can compete for that quarterback one? And if that's the case, then, you know, draft position doesn't really matter. And that's kind of what it's showing to them, that draft position honestly doesn't matter. But on the flip side, right, you got Shedeur Sanders, who didn't look good against BYU. Cam Ward, a lot of people have a bitter taste in their mouth about him playing just a half, just to break a record. You know, that is a problem for some people. I don't know how executives feel about that, but that's the truth of the matter, right? You know, you start looking at character. You know, is this a guy, you know, has kind of character issues or whatever? You know how the draft is, they start breaking things down, right? Are those quarterbacks what we think they are, right? They look good in the big stage of college football, but are they the guys that can really transcend in the NFL and be those franchise guys? It remains to be seen. The combine will tell the story, pro days, things like that, right? I've cooled off a little bit on Shedeur Sanders. I'm not going to lie to you. Not because I don't want him, because, well, I'm glad that we're not at number 2 or 3 and picking him at 2 or 3. I will feel a lot better if he lands with us at 8 or 7 or 6, whatever it may be, because I think he might still be there at 8, 7, or 6. I honestly think he's still going to be there, depending on who's in front of us. I know the Jets might need a quarterback. I know the Giants need a quarterback. But there's a lot of guys, there's a lot of teams like the Jags, the Patriots, they already got their quarterback. The Browns may or may not, who knows, right? There's teams that are in front of us that still have a quarterback that they're still rolling with. Even the Titans, they might still be good with Levis. You know, it's a possibility. We don't know what the Titans are going to do. So because of that, and because of, like, I'm kind of a little bit cooled off about what we saw with these quarterbacks, you know, Shedeur and Cam Ward. You know, picking him at 5, 6, whatever the number we're going to be at, I'm okay with that, rather than being in a position where we have to take somebody at 2 for the sake of we need a quarterback. It actually is, it might actually work out for us. That's how I see it. And then there's the third scenario, right, where we knock on the door of the Minnesota Vikings and be like, hey, what's going on with J.J. McCarthy? I know that that's a rumor out there as well, right? Mm-hmm. J.J. McCarthy, he's getting over an injury. But the truth of the matter is that he was labeled the starter on a team that's 14-2 right now. Before Sam Darnold was, you know, he kind of emerged. J.J. McCarthy was, I wouldn't say locked in, but he was the front runner to be that starter. Just imagine what it would have been if J.J. McCarthy led a 14-2 Vikings to the playoffs right now. What would we be saying about J.J. McCarthy right now? So maybe that's somebody we knock on a door for and be like, hey, what is this about? He was labeled the starter over Darnold at the beginning of the season. Is he really that dude? You know what I mean? Because Darnold's playing excellent ball right now. So does that mean that J.J. McCarthy is a step above what Darnold's doing? And if that's the case, knock on the door, you know, kick the tires, see what we got in them, see what they're asking for. Those are those 3 scenarios, but all 3 scenarios, I have Aiden O'Connell as a quarterback too, an excellent backup. I don't want him at all as our starter.
I agree. But I will ask you, if we talked about this J.J. McCarthy early in the week, what are you okay with trading? What would the trade compensation look like for you for J.J. McCarthy?
Man, that's tough.
That's tough. They're saying first round. That's what they're saying.
Yeah, you're gonna have to give up a first. I'm not willing to give up a first round this year. I'm not willing to give up a first round this year. If they want something from this year, one of our thirds this year, and then I'll give them a first next year in 26. I'm not giving them this year's first. We need that first this year. You know, maybe we can bolster the D-line, like we said, Abdul Carter, Graham, something like that. But if we do bring in a McCarthy, man, we'll give you a 2026 first. We'll give you this year's third. We got 2 third-round picks. Let's use one of those thirds to get our quarterback. That's how I see it. But we need that first this year. I can't give up a first for a guy that's injured. To be honest with you, it's a big risk to take.
Right.
Even though he's young, he can be developed. There's an upside for him. It's a huge ceiling for him. But I still need that first round pick this year. I'm willing to give up next year's first, though.
Yeah. That'd be a crazy scenario. And if that were to happen, then obviously the Raiders would basically be locked in with J.J. McCarthy as their quarterback of the future. I mean, that would be their guy, because that's a lot to give up for a quarterback, a first-round pick, and to be like, oh, yeah, we're going to trade for you, and then we're also going to draft another quarterback. Like, yeah, I don't think it works out like that. I mean, we've kind of seen it possibly with the Kirk Cousins. We've seen like a huge investment in Kirk Cousins, and then they still got Penix. But a young player like McCarthy, that's kind of like your young guy that you're going to be developing, and then you already got an Aiden O'Connell. Then it's like, does it make sense to draft another young guy to that room? I don't know if it makes total sense. You probably want a veteran.
It's tough. It's tough. But like, I'll say this though. Say we win on Sunday, right? And we're picking at number 10.
Right.
That number 10 pick doesn't look so hot right now. I would be willing to still get rid of this year's first for McCarthy, who was picked at number. What was he picked 10th last year?
10th
or 9 or something like that. He was picked 10th.
Not 9th.
No. I think
Bo Nix was 10th.
No, I thought Bo Nix was right in front of us.
No, he was 12th.
Yeah, Bo Nix was right in front of us. Yeah. So I think JJ had to be 10th. JJ was 10th.
Eighth was Penix.
Yeah.
Ninth was Roman Dunze, and then 10th was
Dunze.
I think
JJ McCarthy. Yeah. 5 quarterbacks taken in the first 10
picks.
That's
McCarthy. So if you really look at it as, hey, this is JJ McCarthy's rookie year, would you guys say that he's better than Shedeur? Would you say that he's better than Cam Ward? Would you trade a number 10 overall pick to get, a guy who's virtually a rookie? Like,
some people are saying that if JJ was drafted this year, he would be the number 1 quarterback in this draft.
Absolutely. Even with the injury.
And Cam Ward, if Cam Ward came out last year in last year's draft,
he wouldn't have been.
He wouldn't be drafted in the first round.
He would have been a 5th round pick. He would have been 5th, 6th round pick. Same with
round
Shedeur.
pick?
Yeah. But remember, the reason that Jaden Daniels doesn't, and I'm saying doesn't, I'm not saying didn't, I'm saying doesn't like the GM for the Commanders is because when he asked them about when Brandon Ayuk, because remember Adam Peters worked for the 49ers, and Jaden Daniels asked him about his draft stock, and he told him like, man, we wouldn't draft you to the 5th or 6th round, and I think that pissed Jaden Daniels off. So like a lot can change in 1 year. Cam Ward went from playing at Washington State to playing at Miami. I think Mario Cristobal is a much better coach than I don't remember who he had at Washington State last year. So I think he's a much better coach. He's in a much better situation.
Yeah, absolutely.
So in terms of us, right? What I don't want to do is I don't want to do what the Bears did, and let a few games at the end of the season dissuade us from going after our quarterback of the future. Right? We saw it. We saw him do it. Oh, they almost did it twice. They did it the first time with Justin Fields, where everybody was saying, Justin Fields ain't the guy. You guys need to get a quarterback. They elected not to. They made the trade with the Panthers, and they stuck with Justin Fields another year. Like, oh, he had that 4-game stretch toward the end of the season. Oh man, if we can get this Justin Fields over 16 games or 17 games, we got our guy. And then Justin Fields come back the next year, same guy. Then they finally had to make the decision. You know what? we're going to move off of him. So I don't want to be in that situation where we're still playing this cat and mouse game, or it's aiding the guy. You know, I think it's clear he's not the guy. I think he's a high level backup. Can he come in and win some games for you as a starter? Yes, but he's not a guy that's going to, you know, be the standard bearer or be the guy that's going to be the face of your franchise and lead your franchise to a championship. He's just not, you know, he's just not. So we do need a quarterback. You know, the means by which we get him. Like I'm cool with the Mike scenario of a third this year and the first next year. I wasn't high on JJ McCarthy. No, I'm still not really high on JJ McCarthy even now. I think we have JJ McCarthy. We better make damn sure we have a run game, because that was his crutch at Michigan. Like, you know, Blake Corum and I forgot their other running back, but, you know, they had Blake Corum was killing stuff, and they had another running back that was killing too. And of course, you know, Jim Harbaugh and the strong defense, right? They won the national championship game. He went 10 for 18, threw for 134 yards, no touchdowns. Like is that those like in the national championship game, does that sound like the numbers of your future franchise quarterback? Like, oh, this guy only throws 18 times, only completes 10 of them for less than 200 yards and no touchdowns, and they still win 34 to 3. So that's the kind of talent. The people always want to point to his record. That's the kind of talent he had. Plus, they was cheating. So they didn't get into that. So, you know, but if we're just giving up a third this year and the first next year, and maybe we can do enough, you know, with the picks this year to start winning some games to push that first next year into a later first, you know, I wouldn't hate that. I wouldn't hate that. Or, you know, I know we talk about Hendon Hooker. You know, Hendon Hooker, he's older than JJ McCarthy. He was also had a devastating injury, you know, and he had his in college. So he'll be 2 years removed from it now. You know, do you throw a mid-round pick at a Hendon Hooker, a fourth or a fifth, at a guy that's likely never going to really see the field for the Lions? He's already kind of an older prospect. They're locked in with Jared Goff. I'm sure he wants to get an opportunity to start somewhere. I'm sure his representation has probably made that known. So do you throw them, hey, we'll give you a fourth round pick, a fifth round pick for Hendon Hooker? Like maybe that's a possibility. But either way, we have to address this position.
Yeah,
I'll say this one thing I don't want him to do, man. Don't look at Sam Darnold. Don't look at Kirk Cousins. It's not gonna work. God, no. It's not gonna work. It just won't. Yeah. Let's not get it.
You know,
I forgot Kirk Cousins. Oh my God.
But you know what though? That's gonna give me you know what's gonna give me a clue of who the Raiders are gonna get. It all starts with who the offensive coordinator is gonna be. It starts there. What type of offensive coordinator? What type of offense are we gonna have? What type of offensive coordinator are we gonna get? Which kind of gives you a clue what type of quarterback he would like. And then also free agency happen. I feel like there, in my opinion, when I laid it out to you guys and I said, hey, should we attack free agency and get a quarterback? Should we attack the trade, or all of the above? I think we should obviously go into free agency and find a veteran quarterback that would fit whatever offense that we're going to be running. And for example, Severe might not like this, but if the offensive coordinator was like, you know what, I like Justin Fields. I like his ability to move around. We can have an offense where we can use his legs, use athleticism. And guess who the Raiders are going to be? Guess who I would think the Raiders are going to draft if they get a Justin Fields? A guy like Jalen Monroe.
Milroe, yeah.
Because it's similar skill set. But if we go after a guy like Kirk Cousins or a guy like, I don't know, like you mentioned Sam Darnold
we pick up Kirk Cousins. We drafting Curtis Work.
Curtis Ward
or Carson Beck.
Shit, or Aiden O'Connell is going to be the first man up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Man. But yeah, man, I think Raiders need to do whatever it takes to upgrade that position. I think it starts with free agency, but obviously it also starts with what type of offense are we going to be running? You know what I mean? Are we going to have a young, innovative, offensive-minded coach? Are we going to have a classic West Coast offense? Like, you know what I mean? All that stuff matters at the end of the day, because that can give you a clue of who they're going to be getting. if they were to get a quarterback.
I got a question for both of you guys, man, and I'm definitely not advocating for this dude. We talked about the Jets getting rid of Aaron Rodgers at the end of the season. Would you guys consider Aaron Rodgers?
Nah, man. I'm cool, man. I mean, anything the Jets touch turns into trash, but
yeah.
But then I've been following the Raiders for a while, so I can't be talking too much mess.
Exactly. You know, that's.
But I do like Aaron Rodgers with a chip on his shoulder. I do like the idea of that, but then I don't know how much he cares. How much does he really care? Like, does he really care to the point where, he's going to commit himself, which, I don't want to take a shot. Aaron Rodgers has been one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL for a reason. Like, he put in the work to be that as well as talent. But I don't know, man. I don't know if he would be a good add to the locker room. And that's what people were saying about Russell Wilson. But yeah. Russell Wilson was a cheap quarterback option.
Minimum.
Aaron Rodgers is going to command a lot more money. Whatever.
Will he though? If he's bought out, if he's bought out, if his contract's bought out, he's gonna be getting a Russell Wilson-ish type deal.
A vet minimum?
Yeah. He hasn't done anything to prove anything.
If that's the case, then I changed my mind.
I mean, I'm just assuming. I don't know, but Russell Wilson had 26 touchdowns and 8 picks the last time he was with the Broncos, and they let him go, and he got $1 million, whatever the number, crazy odd million is, for throwing 26 touchdowns and 8 picks.
Yeah.
Like, Aaron Rodgers is not doing those kind of numbers this year, but he has a potential to do it.
Right.
It's worth looking at, I guess. But like you said, like, does he care?
Is he a cancer
anymore?
Though? I know this is strong. Is he a cancer? Is he locker room cancer? I don't know, bro. It's like he just always stirring. I don't know. Maybe the Jet situation might be an exception because the Jet it just felt like it was just a lot of issues there with him at quarterback and coaches getting fired and him. Yeah, it was just weird situation.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what his contract situation is with the Jets. Because I know, part of the reason why Russell Wilson only took the minimum contract with the Steelers is because of the offset language, with the guarantees in his contract. So no matter what contract he took with the Broncos, he was going to be making the same amount of money. No matter what contract he took with another team, he's going to be making the same amount of money because the Broncos were going to still have to pay him all that money. So I don't know if that same dynamic exists with the Jets and with Aaron Rodgers. And then, like, as you said before, we don't know how committed Aaron Rodgers is to playing football. He's doing reality shows. He's doing ayahuasca. He's doing the Pat McAfee stuff. Another wrinkle, and then I'll make one case maybe why it could work. But one more wrinkle is Tom Brady. Mm-hmm. Aaron Rodgers views Tom Brady as his peer. Devontae, and there are a lot of people that think Aaron Rodgers is just as a pure player is a better player than Tom Brady. Tom Brady just has a better career than Aaron Rodgers. So, just off pure talent alone, Devontae always says Aaron Rodgers is the GOAT. Would Aaron Rodgers feel comfortable being an employee of Tom Brady? How would he feel about that?
It's crazy.
But on the other note, though, I would say we talked about it before with the Jets. We've kind of seen this trajectory before. The Jets get, kind of over the hill Green Bay Packers quarterback. He fails. He leaves. Goes to his next team. Has some success. That was Brett Favre from the Packers to the Jets to the Vikings. Could that be Aaron Rodgers from the Packers to the Jets to the Raiders? I don't know how old Favre was when he got to the Vikings, but I think he's around the same age. So could that be a success story we have there?
So.
Possibly, but just off personality alone, I'm staying away from Rodgers. And then, I don't think Mark Davis is a strong enough personality. So he'll let Aaron Rodgers run a roughshod over the Raiders, bro. And I don't feel like dealing with that.
It better not be more than a 1 year deal. It better not be more than a 1 year deal. It got to be year to year. He's 40 years old, and the fact that we're asking, is he committed to football? You know what I mean? We don't got to ask that question with Tom Brady. Tom Brady, like, his reputation itself is like, I'm a winner. I'm here to win. I'm going to win at all costs. I'm going to do whatever it takes. I would give Tom Brady a multi-year contract at age 45. That's what teams were doing. They're getting 2-3 years.
Like he's committed.
Man, Aaron Rodgers, is he committed like that? I don't know. But if it's a 1 year vet minimum and that's our bridge, I'm not mad at it. But also I know how ugly it can get too. Because we had Aaron Rodgers on a flag on a play this year where he's pointing the fingers at receivers. He's pointing the finger at Mike Williams, who eventually gets traded. And then Devontae comes and do shit. Devontae and Aaron Rodgers do. And Devontae better not, if we pick up Aaron Rodgers, Devontae better not be like, oh, it was a misunderstanding. I said I wanted to get graded on my film, not traded. No, hell no. No, Devontae.
That's hell no.
Nah. I said I was getting my dreads braided.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh man,
that is funny. That's funny, but yeah, man. If Aaron Rodgers on a vet minimum, I'm okay with that. You know what I mean? But we gotta draft a QB.
Still, at the end of the day, yeah.
We're drafting a QB in 2025 and 2026 because the way it looks.
Draft one every year till we get it right.
Exactly. Because most likely, if we're looking in the second or third round to draft the QB, because the top two quarterbacks, get drafted and that drop off. Then maybe there might be some more value at second or third. But then if you're betting on second or third round QBs, what's the hit rate? You know what I mean? There's Derek Carr's, but then there's other quarterbacks that don't work out. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying that it's going to be the case for the Raiders if they draft them. I'm just throwing it out there, man. I'm not saying that we draft a QB and this is going to be the QB of future. No, I'm just saying that we got, like you just said, we got to draft until we get it right. And I felt like the Raiders got away from that. They didn't really follow that strategy after Derek Carr for some reason. Like even with Derek Carr, like I don't know. That's a whole different conversation. But just let us know in the chat, man. I know the chat is going wild right now. Make sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe, and hit that notification bell. We'll probably put a poll out there and ask should the Raiders trade, sign, or all of the above to get that QB. You know what I mean? I'm more if depending on who we trade for, then we might not need to draft. But if we draft for like a vet bridge quarterback, obviously we need to still draft. If we sign a guy, most likely he's going to be a bridge, just looking at the quarterback options. So we definitely need to draft. So just let us know how you guys feel, man. Make sure to click in, hit that like button, hit that subscribe, and hit that notification bell. But let's move it along, man. It's extra point, man. It's that time. You already know what the time it is, man. It's extra point, man. And so extra point, man, is we got one last point that we got to make, and we didn't make it earlier in the week. Me and Severe, we really realized that after the show. Brock Bowers, the man, the myth, the legend right now. He's breaking records left and right. He's actually just recently 7th rookie in Raiders history to earn a Pro Bowl. And just to give you, I'll go ahead and post this on the screen so y'all can see what I'm seeing. The man is doing his thing right now. Just look at the list, man. The list just hold on, let me move this up real quick. Speaks for itself. You got Amari Cooper, pretty good receiver. Charles Woodson, Hall of Famer. Tim Brown, Hall of Famer. Marcus Allen, Hall of Famer. Ray Guy, Hall of Famer. Look at that right there. And if you see the asterisk right there, AP, Defensive Player of the Year, AP Offensive
supposed to be rookie, but yeah.
Okay.
I think it should be rookie because they put Defensive Player of the Year.
Yeah, a little tight.
That'd be wild.
Raiders PR. Come on now, like that's on the Raiders. They know me. But anyways, but yeah, man, Brock Bowers, man, he broke the rookie catch record, yards record, and he has a chance to break one more record. I think it's the all-time tight end catch record. He's 9 catches away, and this kind of speaks to Mike earlier was like, hey, we need to give the ball to Brock Bowers every play. He needs to have a big game. Let him go for history, man. We're probably not going to see this too often. But I mean, do y'all want to add to this, man? Brock Bowers, like, is he? We kind of talked about how like we've been surprised by him like so far this season. He's better than we thought he was. I mean, is there anything you want to add to Brock Bowers and his dominance this season?
Man, it's been probably arguably the best tight end with these 9 catches. You could say that he's had one of the best tight end seasons in NFL history. You can say that. Definitely. It's arguable. And you can say that he's had one of the better receiving Raiders seasons in Raider history. You can say that for sure.
Oh,
definitely. Out of those 6 names, out of 4 of those 6 are Hall of Famers. So your chances are looking pretty good, man. Keep the trajectory, and Brock Bowers will be wearing that gold jacket, man. I'm excited to see what he does, for years to come. Hopefully we keep him. We need to keep him. He's a Raider. He should be a Raider for life, man. There's no reason for it. And I'm looking forward to it, man. I'm looking forward to seeing what he does in the next few years.
Real quick before Severe, you chime in. This is a nice little quote from Brock Bowers the other day. Here we go.
Set out a season going, I'm going to have a rookie of the year kind of style campaign, but what has the expectation level been like when you started to what you have accomplished?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I always kind of stress myself out with that kind of stuff, and just wanting to be the best player I can be. I mean, and trying to win all the time. So, yeah.
Brock, I think you were kind of quoted, I think, in Levi's article saying, people are telling you you're doing so great, and sometimes you're like, I feel like I kind of suck when you don't execute. So, do you have to kind of acknowledge now that you're kind of good?
Gosh, I don't know. No, I still feel like I suck sometimes. Like losing a rep here and there, like it just pisses me off.
And then I was just curious, man, like what pieces of art, and this could be a movie, a TV show, book, video game, like that you hold in.
I have to check that clip out. I didn't hear about that, but
yeah, pieces of art. Like,
trying to get hella personal.
What kind of hot sauce do you put on your fried chicken? Do you like Red Rooster? Do you go with the, you go with the crystals?
Come on, man.
Yeah, I don't care about that. Nonsense.
Hey, we're humanizing these players, man. Come on, man.
Get out of here. Like,
man.
No, man. I mean, but I love hearing that quote. I mean, the sky's the limit for Brock, man. He's, he doesn't look it because the hairline and the chin is the hairline and the chin of a 41-year-old man. The dude is only 21 years old, bro. He's only 21 years old. He's only the Raiders love. Bro, the Raiders love these receivers. This hair is falling. Like, you got the Hunter Renfro, got the Brock Bowers. Like, they love these dudes that ain't got no hair, man. I don't know who's going on. Tommy Eichenberg the same way. Like, Tommy Eichenberg, his hair is running away from his forehead too, bro. I don't know what's up with the Raiders and these dudes that's losing their hair, but I mean, Brock Bowers only going to get better, man. He's not like. He hasn't even really hit his like full man body yet, right? He feels still like his physique is going to get, he's going to get bigger. He's going to put on more weight. He's going to put on good weight. He's stronger. Right now, like, just watching the film, like he oftentimes struggles. blocking, especially in a run game. I think some of that is because of just strength deficiencies. Because he's a very willing guy, some strength and some technique stuff, but he's only going to get better in that area as he continues to get stronger, as he continues to prove his technique. And then just as a receiver, man, that like just watching the film, just from where he was at Georgia to where he was at the beginning of the year to where he is now, just as a route runner, he has made tremendous strides, man. So I think Luke Steckel is the tight ends coach. Man, hats off to that dude, because just watching Brock as a route runner, he's improved tremendously. And I think he's only going to keep getting better. And the attitude that he displayed in that video right there, when the guy was like, hey, you know what? He's not focused on the records he's breaking or how good of a season he's having. He's like, man, sometimes I still feel like I suck. When I lose a rep, it pisses me off. And that's the attitude you want to have, because that's a guy that's driven to perfection. He's going to recognize areas he needs to improve on, and he's going to be very, very focused on improving on those areas, man. So I think, the trajectory is straight up for Brock Bowers.
You know what, too? Just want to chime in on what you just said about him just talking about, I just think about Luke Getsy, because I don't know if I want to give too much credit to the coaches with Brock, because sometimes certain players are just great. And Luke Getsy, he had an interesting comment about Brock. He says, when he makes a mistake, all you got to do is show it to him once, he doesn't make it again. So is that coaching, or is it just this player he's just a great player? Like, he just gets it. Like, and you hear him talk, he sounds like he lives and breathes football. You could just tell football is life for this guy. Like, he doesn't do anything. He just goes home, probably relax. Football, 100%. I'm not, and that's probably true for a lot of football players, but I'm just saying, he just sounds like it. He just, like, you know what I mean? Like, Peyton Manning sounds like that. Kobe sounds like all he does is basketball. Like, you can just hear it.
Well, well, he's one of those. He's one of those dudes that go ahead, bro.
No, I just want to say this real, because just the coaching point. So I'm talking about like stuff I've actually seen on film. So, So that's why I didn't even talk about Getsy. I talk about Steckel, the tight end coach. But there are there's the old saying, right? There are known knowns, there are unknown knowns, or known unknowns, and there are unknown unknowns. So there are things that you know, things that you don't know, but you don't know them, but things that you don't know that you don't even know you don't know. And those things, that's where coaching comes in. So even if they're saying we have to show him just one time and he gets it, it still takes somebody to show him that one time, because if he already knew what he needed to do to improve, he would have been doing it already, because he's a quick learner. So it still takes a coach to say, hey, you know what, in this situation, need you to sink your hips right here, and I need you to get east and west right here. And this situation right here, hey, you know what, and if you see a guy playing this leverage, I need you to stop right here on this route, present yourself as a target to your quarterback. So like, it still takes a coach to show him those things. So even though he's getting it quickly, it still takes coaching to help get him there.
Yeah, but certain players are just coachable. There's certain players that are great players.
Yeah, he's coachable, but you still have to be coached to be coachable.
I just feel like great players are more coachable than others. But Mike, go ahead and speak your piece.
I mean, basically, he's the player. He's a player that gets coaches paid.
Exactly.
He makes coaches look better than what they actually are. Whether you're a good coach or a bad coach, he's gonna make you look good, right? It's job stability with Brock Bowers. Regardless of who you are, and it's good to see that mentality. One thing I will say, man, I will say this about the Raiders and who they pick scouting wise. Go for the white guy with the bad haircut, Cam Scatterbo. Let's go. I'm just saying, man. Hey, we're 2 for 2. Let's make it 3 for 3. Like Cam Scatterbo, like your life depend on in the second or third round, man. That's all I'm saying. But and then another thing for Brock Bowers, man. Just shave it, man. Just shave it. Baldy, grow a beard. It's good for business, bro. Go ahead and do it, man. I'm just saying, go for it, man. Go for it. But Brock Bowers is the man, and I'm looking forward to seeing him for years to come. Like I said.
So you think, just going back to what you just said right now, real quick, Scatterbo, you think he's going to be gone in a second?
I don't know. From what I saw from him in that Fiesta Bowl, man, he was throwing touchdowns. He was catching the ball. He was running the ball like Toby Gerhardt at Stanford. He's running the ball like Peyton Hillis.
Throwback, man. Throwback.
Like, man, like this dude is no joke, man. And you got to keep an eye on him. I don't know what he's gonna do, and I don't know what his speed looks like. The combine pro day is gonna tell the story. Right. But I would say second or third round, just based off of what I've seen so far. And hey, you take a flyer, man. If he's available, you got to grab him.
Are you all right? We talked about this earlier in the week. Are you doubling up on running backs in this draft? Just because there's so many different backs in our current state of running back room right now. Like, it just, man, you can get like
absolutely
thunder and lightning in this draft. It feels like, because you mentioned Scatterbo, thunder, and then you can enter lightning. I know Severe is big on the running back from Ohio State, Henderson. And then there's a bunch of other there are a bunch of other guys too as well. So so you doubling up?
Oh yeah. This year, I mean, this running back class coming out is probably one of the stronger classes out of all positions, and strongest running back class we've seen in quite a while. So we got to double up this year, man.
Perfect time to draft a running back, man. Perfect time.
Yep.
But yeah, man. Hey, Brock, congratulations. He's a Pro Bowler. I think Max was also named a Pro Bowler as well. And I think I read something here for Max was the fact that I believe he might have been he's tied for second most Pro Bowlers as far as defensive linemen in Raiders history. The other being Chester McLaughlin, and number one obviously is 8 with Howie Long. So congrats to Max making it to his fourth Pro Bowler, fourth straight Pro Bowl.
Well observed, man.
Amazing.
Yeah, no, for sure. So I think there's only 2 Pro Bowlers, Max and obviously Brock Bowers, which makes sense, man. That's like probably the 2 obvious ones right now.
Yeah,
yeah. And then the kick, you know what? The punter is balling too. If he doesn't get picked up, I think he should at least get picked up in special teams.
Yeah.
So I don't know what that's going to be like.
Yeah. AJ Cole. Yeah, he definitely should be a Pro Bowler. He's gonna.
I'm surprised he didn't.
Not Carlson. Carlson kind of been off this year. Last couple years.
Yeah, no Carlson.
Yeah, but AJ Cole, I think he's been playing like one of the best punters, if not the best punter in football. But that's a whole different conversation. But yeah, that wraps up Extra Point, and we're getting to NFL game picks this week. And hey, man, last week your boy took a minor step back.
Oh man,
let's let's look at like the results from last week. Mike 9-4. Obviously, I went 9-4. Severe went 10-3, but obviously Severe was in the lead going into the last weekend by 2 games up on me. And let's go look at the season total real quick. So Mike 111.65, 119.57, Severe 122.54. So you got, this is the finale right here, man. This is the finale right here, man. This weekend, I'm gonna have to figure out a way to get some upsets, man. It's gonna be a Hail Mary. What did I say at the beginning of the week? I said 10 seconds left on the 30-yard line. I gotta tie up the game.
Hey
man, you better hope for the band to come out early or something.
This is an odd week, man. This is an odd week because we don't know who's playing and who's not. So it could, it's a very odd week this week. So it could be one of those situations where a whole bunch of underdogs win.
Yeah.
So you never
I forgot to mention. I don't know if you want to chime on this real quick. Tyree Wilson, making strides. You want to get into that real quick before we get into the NFL game picks?
Hey, I mean, we can do that real quick, man. Go ahead.
Go
ahead. Let's give him his credit, man. Like we've been dogging this dude all off season and all during the season. We got to give him some love, just a little bit.
I forgot
man.
about
It's
that, man.
Fair. It's only right.
So Ty here,
right,
he improving. Got some moves. Had his best pro according to Ted Nguyen. He's a film guy right here. 27.6% pressure rate, 8 pressures, 2 QB hits. 0.5 sacks. Is that what you're seeing, Mike? Severe? Are you seeing this? You seen improvement from Tyree Wilson?
I'll let Mike go first.
Man, I see the motor, bro. I see what he's trying to do. Now the problem with Tyree Wilson, man, and I don't want to dog him, man, because he did have a good game. He's been doing his thing. He's been improving slightly. We still haven't seen that secondary move. You can argue and say that forklift move that he did is a new move, but I've seen this before. It's based off of a bull rush, right?
Yeah.
But he does have that reach and he's using it to his advantage, so I'll give him that. But one thing I will say, and you can see it right there, shed the block right there and make the damn play. Like, get off the dude, man. Yeah, you won the battle, right? You push him in the backfield, you embarrass the hell out of him, you got him on skates, shed it early and make the sack. You know, we'll talk about you in a much better light if you can just stop and kind of stop playing out of control in a way and make a play. We saw this a couple years ago, his rookie year in the preseason game when they played the Cowboys, where he absolutely blew up a right or left tackle. I can't remember. Blew up a left tackle, but also did not make the play.
Right.
Exactly.
This is the same stuff we've been seeing with Tyree Wilson since he's been in the league. And I'm just waiting for him to make a damn play. It's good. Forklift technique is great. Hopefully he adds on to that in the offseason, but shed the dude a lot earlier and make the play, man. And you know what? Look, man, I'm not a professional football player. I never made it to that level. It's easy for me to say so. But I'm sure in film study and what these coaches are saying to him are saying the same exact thing, man. Finish. That's the problem with Tyree Wilson right now. He's getting right there and he's not finishing. He has so many opportunities to do so, and he just doesn't do it. So that's my critique on him, man. I'll pass it to Severe, man.
Severe, real quick. Who's a better player, Cleveland Farrell, his first few years, or Tyree Wilson?
Cleveland Farrell. It's quite a gap. It's quite a gap too. It's like it's honestly it's not close, bro. To be honest with you, it's not even close. It's not even close. Remember, Cleveland Farrell had a sack his first game, and I remember watching those games. And Max was playing well, but there were times, especially his rookie year, there were a lot of times where Max was eating off pressure and opportunities created by Cleveland Farrell. And then remember, Cleveland Farrell came back his second year, and Max had a down year, but I think he was injured. But Cleveland Farrell, I think he was like one of the top 15 rated defensive end, according to PFF that year. And then we fired Paul Gunther and we brought in Gus Bradley. We changed schemes. And then, that was basically all she wrote kind of for Cleveland Farrell. But no, it's not even close in terms of who's better these first few years. Cleveland Farrell, it's not quite close. It's not close. Tyree is improving, but just watching the film, it's too many times where he's just getting stonewalled and just his feet stop, like gives up. He gets blocked and gets stuck on blocks. Doesn't try to shed. Once a guy blocks him and he just stands there and gives up. Haven't really seen a secondary. Hasn't really seen a lot of refinement of his move. He's trying to do like a little baby swim move. There's a one rep in this game where he does like a little bit of a rip move. They're both in their infancy, so they're nowhere near good enough to beat guys on a consistent basis. But he's just not a guy that that can consistently, like, he's had opportunities where he's getting free rushes at the quarterback. He had an opportunity to get a free rush at Spencer Rattler, who's not some uber athlete, and Spencer Rattler, shook him out of his cleats, and left him in the dust. So we just got to see more consistency out of Tyree. I want to see a better motor out of Tyree more consistently. He's with guys like Laulu. That guy, a rookie this year, we picked him up early in the season. Excellent motor. The guy, Zach, I think Zach Carter is his name, the D tackle. That dude has a good motor. Adam Butler, we know he has a great motor. Max, we know he has an amazing motor. Caleb Von Chason, he has an amazing motor. And he has a go-to move. He has that little jump hand swipe. That's his go-to move. And he got a pressure on him. I think he got a sack off that today. Tyree doesn't have a go-to move. He doesn't have great effort. He's just a guy that has extremely long arms. And, occasionally he can catch a right tackle slipping, especially against one of the worst offensive linemen in the league. And like they say, even the broken clock is right twice a day. So
Sheesh.
I need to see a lot more out of Tyree, to justify him being the 7th overall pick.
Golly, man, he just went for the kill with that one. We'll see, man. Hey, it's another off season. This is gonna be his what? He's going into his 3rd year. Next year's 2nd year this year. He's done with that this season. So next year will be his 3rd year. We'll see how much he gets better. It's going to be an off season with Max.
He needs to move in with Max. When Max brushes teeth, what time do you brush your teeth? What kind of deodorant do you have? Like, what socks are those? Like, bro, what cologne are you wearing? Who cuts your hair? Like, bro, everything Max does, he needs to be right there with him, bro. Everything he does, he needs to do exactly as Max does. Move into that man's house, all that stuff, bro. That's what he needs to be attached at the hip to Max Crosby this offseason because, it's somewhere in there. He just needs to wake it up, and maybe spending more time with a guy like Max, maybe that will wake it up. Like I said, when guys came to the Lakers, bro, like you got Kobe Bryant, bro. Kobe's kind of a psycho, but Max is a psycho too when it comes to football. Like, you need to be, bro. You don't have a regular job. You should be working football 8 hours a day like it's a regular job. Mm-hmm. Hell, more than that. On some occasions, like you need to take this as serious as possible. And I don't know how seriously he's taking it because, like I said, I haven't seen the necessary improvement from a guy that was taken, top 10 overall, especially over a guy like Jalen Carter, who's fastly becoming one of the best defensive players in the league.
Man, hey man, mic drop, man. Mic drop.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, hey man, I hope he gets better, but I'm not even counting on it. When we talk about the offseason, we're talking about like, all right, who the Raiders can re-sign. We need to re-sign Chase Young. We need to re-sign Kuntz, hopefully. You know what I mean? If this, find a way they can bring back those players on the cheap. Mike, you mentioned drafting Abdul Carter. Man, that's not a good. That's basically you saying that hey, it's not working out with Tyree Wilson, pretty much.
I agree.
Tyree was supposed to be he was supposed to be the guy. He's supposed to be the guy on the other side, and it's not working out like that. He's probably at best a role player, just like Aiden O'Connell probably at best is a backup QB. So. Yep. But that's what that is. But yeah, let's get back to what we were about to talk about, man. We're going to talk about the NFL game picks real quick. So I'm going to go ahead and put this on the screen. Here we go. What we got here is the Browns and Ravens Saturday game, Saturday edition.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys can't see it. Okay, my bad. Hold on. Let me put that on the screen. My bad.
There we go.
So, Mike, who you got? First game.
I think the Ravens still need this game just because they got to seal the division and everything. So, I got the Ravens winning this one. Browns, they're happy to be playing Saturday. Get this season over with. Turn it in a day early. Ravens win.
All right. Yeah, I'm going with Ravens, but I'm just trying to think of the playoff implications as far as seeding. Are they going to improve or not? We might do backups play. Are we going to see Lamar play? But yeah, I'm going with the Ravens. Just play safe.
Yeah. as Mike said, I think the Ravens need this game for the division, because if they lose and the Steelers win, then the Steelers can steal the AFC North and win the division, and then the Ravens will go from, I think, the 3 seed to like 6th. I think from 3 to 6. So they take this game. So, and then I think DTR is still starting for the Browns. I think somebody has told me, somebody said in our show before that Bailey Zappi, they were starting Bailey Zappi. I didn't even know he played for them. So like so the Browns clearly ain't in it to win it. So I think the Ravens take it.
Right. Damn. And that's one of the teams ahead of the Raiders. God.
Yeah.
Man, I hope I'm wrong in this game right here. But Bengals, Steelers, Mike, who you got?
I think the Bengals get in the playoffs. I think they sneak in, man, and they got to beat the Steelers here. And I think they do it. I think Burrow is playing at an MVP caliber level. And they honestly need this game. One of the hotter teams in the NFL right now. Definitely a tough out if they do make the playoffs. I got the Bengals upsetting the Steelers at home.
Man, I want to go Bengals. I think Steelers take care of business at home.
Man. This one is tough because depending on the results of the Ravens versus Brown game, I think that could affect what the Steelers do in terms of their starters. But also, I'm going to go with the Steelers for one main reason. The Steelers have lost 3 games in a row. And I don't think Mike Tomlin is too keen on going into the playoffs on a losing streak, especially a 4-game losing streak. I think they right the ship, and I think they beat the Bengals in a very close game.
All right, and then we got the Falcons and Panthers. Mike, who you
got? Falcons still got something to play for. Panthers to turn it in, man. Even though they were trying to crash the party, I think they're done with that whole idea. I got the Falcons winning this. Michael Penix looks like what we thought he was going to look like, and I think he continues with that.
Yeah, I got the Falcons too. I think they need some help too to possibly get in. Yeah, obviously losing last week was tough for them. Yeah. But I got Falcons. Who you got, Severe?
Yeah, I got the Falcons too. Ironically, the Falcons need to win, and they need the Saints to beat the Buccaneers. So the Falcons ain't getting into the playoffs, basically. But I still think they handle business.
All right. We got Commanders, Cowboys. Who we got, Mike?
The Commanders don't really need this game. I mean, there's some seeding involved, like, where they're going to play. They're going to be on the road regardless, though. It just matters of who they want to play in the first round. But I think the Cowboys win this game. Jerry Jones, the last thing he wants to do is lose to the Commanders, their arch rival for years and years and years, on that final game of the season. I think the Cowboys rally and pull this one off.
I got the Commanders, man.
Yeah, the Commanders are going into. I think the Commanders can improve their seeding, but also, Dan Quinn, where was he defensive coordinator last year with the Cowboys? If anybody that knows these guys, knows their strengths and their weaknesses, it's going to be Dan Quinn. I think he has the offensive rookie of the year, and Jayden Daniels playing some of the best ball he's played all year. I think they go out, and I think they win that game. Commanders.
All right, we got the Bears and Packers.
Packers, it's all seeding for them as well. They're going to be on the road. But the Bears are toast. I got the Packers winning this one.
Yeah, I got Packers. Lambeau Field, home game. It's a better team. I think division is out of reach at this point. But even if I think about who's going to come in, I think from what we've seen earlier in the year when Malik Willis came in, like there wasn't really a drop off. Like as far as the Packers, not like they actually were playing well with Malik Willis at quarterback. So
he's 2-0.
Yeah. So I'm going Packers.
Yeah, I'm going Packers as well. As much as I would love for the Bears to win this game, because that only helps us in terms of draft position. And I think Matt LaFleur said the starters are playing. I think that was that was the dichotomy between him and the Eagles, where the Eagles aren't playing their guys, but I think Matt LaFleur said his guys are playing, so I'm going with the Packers.
All right. Packers all across the board. We got Jaguars, Colts. Mike, who you got?
For the sake of draft placement, I'm going Jags. The Colts, they lost the heart last week. You know, I don't know if they were eliminated automatically from that loss, but that was a bad loss against the Giants. Like that's really bad. AR5 or IR5, whatever you want to call them, man. Like, are they looking for another quarterback soon? Like, I don't know. Yeah. Are we gonna see Joe Flacco? Like, it's a lot of questions with the Colts. Probably one of the most average teams that we've seen in the last 5 years. It just seems like the Colts are always 8-9 every year. So
Pat McAfee killed him the other day too.
Yeah,
yeah.
It's crazy. I mean, they have fell far from the Peyton Manning years and also far from the Andrew Luck years. So I think the Jaguars win this game, man. The Jaguars they're playing hard, and the Colts just simply aren't right now. So I got the Jags winning this game.
Yeah, I think the issue with the Colts is they had expectations this year and they just didn't live up to them. Just they weren't as good as people thought they were. But I'm taking the Colts at home against the Jags. So who you got?
I mean, the most recent games the Colts have won. I mean, the Jaguars have won. I think they beat the Titans twice. I think those are the only two recent wins they have. So their non-Titan opponents, they have not fared well against. The Colts, I think the Colts were in a position to win the game. Last week I picked them last week, and they let me down. With Joe Flacco, even though Joe Flacco was a starter, I think they got down big early. They clawed back, and ultimately they couldn't overcome the deficit. But I'm gonna go with the Colts. I just think they're a better team overall. I think Shane Steichen wants to do all he can to improve his record as well.
We got Bills, Patriots. Mike, who you got?
Oh man, I got the Patriots winning this game. Bills, they're sitting some dudes. I don't think we're gonna see Josh Allen. It doesn't matter. They're the number 2 seed. It's locked in. Use this as a mini bye week for them and get them prepared for whoever they play next week in the playoffs. I got the Patriots winning this one.
Yeah, I got Patriots winning at home, playing against backups probably. So I agree. Severe, who you got?
Same here. Josh Allen will start the game, but that's just to keep his streak going. I think he's missed a game since 2018. I think Mitchell Trubisky played last week. I think he got into the game last week because it was such a blowout. Could Mitchell Trubisky, and some backups beat the Patriots? They could, but Drake May has been playing pretty well. I think Jared Mayo wants to end the year strong. I think they want him to. I think the team wants him to finish strong as well. So I'll go with the Patriots.
All right, and we got Giants, Eagles.
Yeah,
Mike, who you got?
I don't feel the same way about the Patriots that I do with the Giants. I think the Eagles win this one. No Saquon Barkley, unfortunately, he's not going to break that record.
No, man, damn.
I really want him to break a record just because
Man,
people
me
have been
too.
talking a lot of crap about breaking the Eric Dickerson record and all that stuff, one extra game. But people fail to forget that Eric Dickerson broke the previous record with 2 extra games. So, who's somebody to talk who has the record, from somebody who got the record before that with 2 less games. So I digress with that one. Either way, I got the Eagles winning this game, man.
Yeah, I got the Eagles winning too. I think there might be playoff seeding in jeopardy too. I think
it could possibly be.
Yeah, it's close with the Vikings, Eagles. Got to look at the records again, but Lions. So I think the Eagles are going to try to win this game. So I got the Eagles.
Oh, this one is tough. Because the Giants, they played a hell of a game last week. Malik Neighbors is a beast. Tyrone Tracy is a beast. But that's about all. I'm going with the Eagles. I think Kenny Pickett is still a better quarterback than anybody they have over at the Giants right now. So I think they win that game.
We got the Saints and Bucks. Mike, who you got?
Bucks need this to lock the division, and they make a statement against the Saints. Saints are done. I got the Bucks winning this.
Yeah, same here, man. So who you got?
I got the Bucks. They need this game to lock up the playoff position. The Saints, they cannot. Just watching that game, Spencer Rattler, he already was without Chris Olave, Rashid Shaheed, Alvin Kamara, and Taysom Hill. And the players he had out there, they did him no favors, dropping passes left and right, man. And I think the Bucks get it done. What's going on with the Texans? With their logo? It's weird.
It was. I couldn't even recognize that. Like, what is that?
It's supposed to, I don't know, man. They're
it looked like an H sticking his tongue out.
A throw.
Yeah, I know, right?
Their version of a throwback, I guess. I don't know, man. But Texans, Titans. Yeah. Mike, who you got?
Texans need this game, man. They're sputtering into the playoffs. Any other situation, any other division, they're fighting for their life. But we got the Texans winning this game, man.
I'm gonna pick an upset here, man. I think Titans, division rival, hated rival, whatever you want to call it. I'm gonna pick the upset here. I got Titans.
I'm gonna go with the Texans. They do not want to. They don't want to limp into the playoffs. I think they need a strong finish to the year, and I think they need CJ Stroud to kind of get in the gear. And the Titans, they have a very strong defense, but they just lost to Mac Jones. So I think CJ Stroud can get it done.
All right, and we got the 49ers and Cardinals in Arizona. Mike, who you got?
This looks like a direct draft placement game right here. Like, loser has the lower pick. I don't know if that matters to any of these teams, but oh man, I hate picking NFC West games because you just never know. But
right,
I'm gonna go 49ers on this one. I got the Niners winning this. They're gonna go out with a win, 7-10. Big disappointing season for the 49ers. Dobbs starts too, by the way, for the 49ers.
Who, sorry?
Dobbs.
Oh, Joshua Dobbs? Oh, yeah. Brock Purdy hurt himself. Yeah, I remember that UCL injury, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm going Cardinals. Just taking the home team, and I'm taking a better quarterback. So,
yeah, man. The 49ers have no running backs. They have no quarterbacks. and they have one receiver and a tight end. I'm gonna go with the Cardinals, man. I think Marvin Harrison has. I think he has a big game. To finish the year strong.
All right. So we got So we got 49ers, Cardinals, Chiefs, Broncos, Mile High Stadium. Who we got, Mike?
I think we're gonna see Carson Wentz in this game for the Chiefs, possibly at 15-1. I think I want the Broncos to get knocked out. I don't want them in the playoffs simply because we'll be the only team in our division to not make the playoffs. And I picked the Bengals to win, so I'm picking the Broncos to lose for that to happen. So I got the Chiefs going 16-1, as much as I hate it. But Chiefs in Colorado win this game.
I'm going with the Broncos. I think they're gonna figure out a way to win this game. Last time they played, it was like a heartbreaker, missed or fumbled,
blocked field goal. I think.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah,
some weird situation. Broncos got a tough defense. You're telling me that Mahomes ain't playing? I'm gonna go Broncos.
I don't know if he's playing. It doesn't make sense for him to play though.
Yeah. No, I get it 100%. Like I could see Chiefs having a backup players playing, so that's I'm like, yeah, you never know. But yeah, I got Broncos. Severe, who you got?
The Chiefs. I don't know if their starters are playing. I think I read somewhere where Andy Reid isn't going to play them, and that means they'll have like 24 days off because they play. I think they played on Christmas.
Oh, that's crazy.
So they played on Christmas. They rest them this week. They have a first round bye. So that's on like 24 days off, which I think will be a massive mistake if he does that. But I think he may end up doing that. So if the Chiefs starters aren't playing, which I don't think they're playing, I'm going with the Broncos.
All right, and we got Seahawks, Rams. Who we got, Mike? NFC West.
Yeah, the Seahawks are eliminated. Don't let the record fool you. There's nothing on the line for this one. Seahawks eliminated. Rams already locked up the division. They're already going to have a home game regardless of win or loss. I got the Seahawks winning this game at home in Inglewood.
I'm going to go Rams. I can see it go either way, but I'm just going to go Rams.
Yeah, NFC West, man.
I know.
Yeah. It's a home. See, I don't know if the Rams are playing their starters or not. Especially since seeding doesn't matter. They have been banged up. Does Jimmy Garoppolo, does he get to start? Oh my God, if he starts, bro. That could be terrible. But Seahawks doesn't have nothing to play for, man. I'm gonna go with the Rams. They want to go into the playoffs with a win. But if Jimmy Garoppolo plays, bro, that's gonna be terrible.
All right, and we got the Chargers and Raiders. We got Mike.
Oh man. I don't know, man. I don't know. Are we going to see starters from the Chargers? I don't know. It remains to be seen. They really don't have much to be playing for. They're locked in for the playoffs. Raiders seem to be they care. They want to play. They want to still win games. I think the Raiders game in a close one. Field goal wins it. Got everybody happy at the end of the season. The ones that care about draft positioning aren't happy. But you know, we can pick as low as 10 if we win this game. If we lose this game, some things happen. We can get about as high as 2. So a lot's on the line, kind of. But I think the Raiders don't care. I think the Chargers also don't care about winning this game. But the Raiders do care about winning this game. So I got the Raiders winning this game. Got the Raiders.
Yeah, I could see the Raiders winning this game, but I'm gonna go Chargers, man. As I hate to say it, but something's gonna happen that
They're also 0-5 in the division.
Yeah, exactly.
So this matters even more.
I'm gonna go with the Chargers.
I said I want the Raiders to win. I do want them to win. Do I think they're going to win? Me wanting them to win. Do I think they're going to win? I think they're two different things. If the Chargers play their starters, which I'm thinking they will, because Jim Harbaugh's old school. I think they're going to play to the end. His cryptic comments kind of, man. I'm gonna go Chargers because I think their starters will play. I'm gonna bank on Jim Harbaugh doing the right thing, quote unquote, the right thing for the integrity of the game, and their starters playing. I'm gonna go with the Chargers.
All right, I got Dolphins and Jets.
Yes,
Mike, who you got?
I got the Dolphins winning this one. They want to finish the season on with the winning season. I think that matters to them. I got Dolphins winning this.
MetLife Stadium. You know what? I'm gonna go with the Jets. This is just one of those weird division games. I'm just gonna pick the Jets.
I'm gonna go with the Dolphins. I don't even know if Aaron Rodgers plays. I don't even know if Aaron Rodgers cares. They just got a mud hole stomped in them this last week. And could they bounce back and have a strong finish? Conceivably. I think the players do like Coach Ulbrich. But I just think the Dolphins are the more talented team. And I don't think they have a single Pro Bowler. And I think Tyreek could be mad about that. And Javon Holland as well. So I'm gonna go with the Dolphins.
Whoo, game of the week.
Man.
Vikings and
game
Lions.
Of the year.
Man, 14-2. So this can go either way.
Yeah.
In Detroit, though. Mike,
in Detroit.
Yeah.
It's going to be a crazy crowd. I've picked against the Vikings, I think, like 6-7 weeks in a row. Like, I was like, there's no way that they're 8-2. There's no way they're 9-2. There's no way they're 10-2. But now they're 14-2 and looking to get the number one seed in the NFC. And I think the Vikings do it. I'm picking the Vikings this week for the first time in a while. I got the Vikings beating the Lions.
Oh, damn. Now I can't beat the Lions.
I think.
Hey, wait. Hey, wait.
What happened?
Severe got to pick first.
I'm gonna go with the Vikings. I think even though it's at home, the Lions have been playing some really good football. Part of the reason because I think Pharaoh's gonna pick the Lions, so that's part of the reason I'm picking the Vikings. But so just so we have a little something on the line for this last game, I'm gonna go with the Vikings. But also the Lions are banged up. They're banged up in the secondary. They're banged up against along the offensive line. I think Aleem McNeil is out. Aiden Hutchinson's out. They have some corners that are out. And then Sam Darnold throwing the ball to Jake Jettis. Jordan Addison has been playing well. T.J. Hawkinson's been playing well. Aaron Jones has been running the ball well.
Oh, damn.
I'm going to go with the Vikings.
I didn't even realize there's no Monday Night Football game. But, yeah, this is, I guess, the last game on the thing. So, I guess I have to go to Lions. I have to go with the Lions now.
That's why I said you pick last, man. He's got the advantage. Hey, Mike, you got to keep it spicy, man.
That's funny. You was paying attention.
We got to keep it spicy, man.
So I think, let's see. Let me see if there's any upset alerts. Mike, you got the Bengals. I think that's the upset for you. You got an upset right there. Alert. Let's see. Oh man, Mike, you got Cowboys.
Yeah, I got
another upset alert.
Trying to make it respectable at the end of the season.
Got the Jags. Okay.
Mike out here throwing Hail Marys for sure. Mike.
Yeah, man. I gotta get that loss down to single digits at least. Like I'm like 10 games behind, bro. I need
Mike.
To get down,
Mike is out here running hook and ladders in the third quarter.
Yeah, I'm down 35 in like the fourth, bro. I need to,
You better get this down to single digits.
So the next upset would be the Titans and Texans. I picked the Titans. Damn, 40. Mike, another upset. Whoo, damn. You had the 49ers.
Hey,
upset.
Just the gut feeling, man. Just the gut feeling between you guys. In case of a tie at the end of all this, right?
Yeah.
You guys got to pick a score in this final game.
Pick a score, the Raiders game or the Vikings game?
Let's make it. Let's pick the Raiders game. Pick the Raiders game final score.
Not right.
Well, I did pick the Chargers. Oh, we both did.
We both picked the Chargers, yeah.
24-10 Chargers.
Okay. I got it 23-17 Chargers.
Okay, and then like basically whoever has the closest score as far as difference in score would win.
Yeah.
So obviously, if they win by what you said 23-7. So if they win by 16,
yeah, you would be closer. You got
no, you would be closer because you said 23-7, right?
No, I went 17.
17-23.
Yeah, Chargers 23, Raiders 17.
Okay. All right, and then Mike, you have the Chiefs upset alert. And Mike, you got a lot of upsets.
Mike was just picking upset.
Man.
Hey, I gotta come back, bro.
Oh shit!
I gotta make it down to single digits at least, man. There's no way I can win, but yeah, I need to make this respectable at least.
And obviously, the last two games, two picks,
or just get completely blown out of the water, one or the other.
All right, we'll see how it shakes out. Make sure to tune in to Around the Shield next week to see the results of the season-long NFL game picks. This is the first annual game picks that we did, man. Pretty competitive.
Yeah,
after the first week, we've been on we damn near picked. I mean, I think what was probably the best week? I don't know who had the best week.
I think you had the best week. I think 1 week you only lost.
I had the best week and I had the worst week.
Yeah, exactly. I think you had the. I think 1 week you only lost 2 games. Yeah, but you also had the by far the worst because by far the worst.
Man,
yeah, you were like 5-9 one of them weeks, right? Like
no, it was I was trying to get the number 1 pick, man. I was like 3-10 or something like that. It was something crazy.
It was something crazy. It was
something crazy, man. But yeah, make sure to tune in to Around the Shield next week, next Friday. Are we going live, Mike? We going live?
We're going live, man. I got some things up my sleeve that I want to do. I gotta look up, and I'll keep people posted with that one. But yeah, we'll be back to do some awards, right? We got awards next week, or
next week we'll be doing season awards. Obviously, we know a couple of these awards, like Rookie of the Year goes to Bill and Lobby.
Exactly.
Nah, I'm just like, hell no. No, I'm just playing. But Mike, man, let the people know where they can find you, what to look forward to, all that good stuff.
Man, you can find me at Big Mike Raider on IGX, over here on YouTube. Do a search. It's your first time over here. Hopefully it's not your last, man. I know the season's been disappointing, but we'll be here next year. We'll be here during the draft, covering everything you need to know about the 2025 draft for the Raiders and just around the NFL. So come check us out Fridays on Around the Shield.
There you go. Severe, man. Let the people know where they can find you, what to look forward to. All that good stuff.
You guys know what it is. The Severe Raider, YouTube, IG, X, Snapchat, TikTok. Basically everywhere at the Severe Raider. Every Tuesday, do the film breakdowns with my guys 805 and Chris from Protect the Shield. Also Tuesday, the 50-50 show. You guys know what's up. The 50-50 show. Every Friday around the Shield with my brothers Big Mike and Pharaoh, and then I do the post game with Chris over at 805 and Protect the Shield as well. Trying to come up with some stuff. I'm this off season gonna be a very interesting off season. Trying to come up with some stuff, man. So be on the lookout for it. I've been in contact with some people, possibly doing some things. So y'all look out for that. If not, solo. As always, make sure you hit up the 50-50 shop. Christmas is past, but Valentine's is on the horizon. What better way to show your love than with a 50-50 hoodie?
There you go.
There you go, man. Hey, man, I couldn't say better than the gentleman on the screen, man. We do this every week. Around the Shield every Fridays, obviously 50-50 every Tuesdays. And just tune in, man, for new content. It's coming your way, man, from all our channels. It's the off season. The off season it has begun. It's been started for us, at least. I mean, if you follow the Raiders, I'm sure you've been paying attention to all these mock drafts and these possibilities of trades, rumors, all that. We're going to talk about all that good stuff. And definitely tune in next week because we're going to find out, I feel like pretty soon, who's going to be here long term next year. I mean, you know what? Just real quick, do you think we're going to find out next week if AP is going to be staying here next year? Is he going to be the head coach or is he going to be fired? Because Black Monday is next Monday.
Yeah, it'll be in a couple of days, right? Like Monday, right. Black Monday's in a few days.
Right.
Yeah, we'll find out Monday. They got to make moves right now. It's time.
Right.
2025 season is starting Monday as far as I'm concerned. They need to really start making those moves and evaluating, and they got to figure out if AP is going to be here or not. So that's one of the first moves they're going to make.
Real quick prediction. Is AP back next year?
No.
I'm
Severe.
gonna say yes. I'm hoping against hope. I'm gonna say yes.
Okay.
I'm gonna say yes.
Okay.
I don't think so though, but I'm gonna say yes. I'm gonna say yes.
Yes, it's not looking too good for AP.
I'm so tired of this revolving door, man. But
I know.
I don't have a lot of faith in that prediction, but I'm gonna say yes.
And you know what's funny about it too? Like the more I think about it, the more I'm like, damn, some of these players that's playing well, it's going to be for nothing. It's going to be for nothing because we're going to have a new coaching staff. And those coaching staff are going to want their own players, and they're not going to know who played well. And I mean, maybe Tom Telesco, but they could just be like, I want this guy instead because he fits my system better. But that's a whole different conversation. We'll have plenty of time to talk about that. Appreciate everybody coming through. Make sure to clack in at this point. Clack out. Like the thumbs. Like, comment, subscribe. Hit that notification bell. Any last thoughts before we head out?
Oh, that's about it, man. Go Raiders. Let's get it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I'm waiting for the 7 3/8. I thought you was gonna say that.
Nah, that's been my jinx. I ain't saying this.
Yeah, facts. I'm about to say, nah, man. Don't do it.
Been my jinx.
Man, but we'll see y'all next week, man. Hey, man, make sure to tune in. Peace.
Just win, baby. Hello? You play to win the game. You don't play to just play it.